y'all. It's real. Okay. What's up, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Sydney P. Her name is Sid, Miss Parson. Welcome to my channel. I am a 29-year-old single mother living in Atlanta with my 2-year-old baby boy, and my channel is here to uplift you, to help all the mommies out there, you know, with anything they may be going through. If they have any questions about something, I had a lot of questions. I did a lot of researching when I had my son. So today we're going to be talking about sleeping, co-sleeping with your child, okay? Now, I understand that you just got home, you've been waiting for your baby for 9-10 months, right? And you're like, why not sleep with the baby? And you know, they say that bonding helps, you know, it's nurturing, skin to skin, that's all fine and dandy. Yes, it is. And don't get me wrong, like in the hospital, when I had Brayden, I slept in the bed with him a couple of nights, and I felt better with him in the bed with me. But there are some risk factors with that as well. Now, I have heard some mothers say they prefer to co-sleep, and I understand this totally because their babies need that extra attention for whatever reason. You know, they could have had some sort of something going on at birth. They could be premature, and that's why they choose to sleep with their kids close to them. And I get it, because there are many of nights that I will wake up out of my bed and just to touch him, or I wouldn't hear his little noises that he would make, and I'd get up out my bed and go and, you know, just give him a little so I could feel him jump and be like, okay, right. And then if he didn't jump, I was like, you know what I'm saying? Shaking him like. By all means, if you have a scare, or, you know, such as myself, if you have experienced any sort of loss of a child, I definitely understand why you would choose to sleep with your baby in your bed. And there's ways to do it so that, especially when your child is a newborn, so it's safe for everybody. But what I want to really get into is when you're trying to get your child to sleep in their own bed, okay? So now we have done all the cuddling and the kissing and all of that, but now we're ready to have our bed back, right? From the jump, put the baby in their crib, okay? Plenty of nights I fell asleep on my side with my titty out so I could feed my baby and went to sleep, and he was right there next to me, and I didn't put him back in his crib. But there were more nights that I actually did get up, and Mom, you're gonna be so tired. Yes, you are, because 1, you just gave birth. 2, you're already getting up every 2 to 3 hours. And now after you've breastfed, you know, breastfeeding and burping and all that really takes about 30 to 45 minutes. And then by the time you change the baby and lay them back down, you're really only getting about an hour, hour and a half of sleep. And I know it's gonna seem like a lot, but trust me, okay? You wanna do this just to get them conditioned already to sleep by themselves, so that they don't get used to laying next to you all of the time, because that is what is hard to break them away from, because they're so used. We are creatures of habits. Human beings are creatures of habits. So if habitually you lay your baby in a bed with you, every time they go to sleep, they're gonna want you there with them from the rip, okay? When you get home with your baby, when you're done doing everything you need to do, put that baby back in their crib or their bassinet, whatever it is, and you go and you lay separately from your child. We had some rough nights, okay? Where in my last apartment, I had my bed, right? I had a 1-bedroom. I had my room, and his crib was literally at the foot of my bed. And when my son got big enough, like first he would just pop his head up, and he would just sit there and wait till I wake up, and I'm waking up like, you know what I'm saying, baby just watching me. And then he got to the point where he figured out how to pull himself up out the crib, and he would crawl into my bed. And I would just be like, it would just amaze me, like the levels he would go through just to get in the bed and get next to me. And then sometimes I would catch it and I'd be able to lay him back in his bed. But sometimes, you know, I just wake up and Brayden would just be laying right there. It was crazy. And then some points I would just sleep on the couch, because it got to a point where he knew I was there, right? So he would just purposefully wake up in the middle of the night just because he knew I was in the room with him. And then one night, I just stayed the night on the couch and he did not do that at all. So there was like many a nights that I slept on my couch just to get a full night's of rest because my child. Get the baby to sleep before you put them in their bed, okay? You don't always just want to lay them down. You know what I'm saying? And just let them cry it out. And I'm gonna get to that in my next point, but try putting them to sleep. My son had an awesome rocker that was gifted to me by my god sister. And this thing, I mean, like if he started crying louder, the rocker would speed up even faster. It would change the song and everything. Like that was my holy grail when I had my son. I would put him in that rocker. He would go to sleep. When he get good in sleep, I take him out and put him in his crib. There's gonna be some nights you're gonna have to rock the baby, right? You're gonna have to, you gotta get a sway on. Y'all excuse my outfit, I'm super casual today, but you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be holding your baby, right? And you can't just be rocking them like this. Like you gotta go like this, right? You gotta have that little jump. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta have a little jump from side to side and you gotta, and sing at the same time. Okay, my baby song was Silent Night. I was singing Silent Night. And you know, you can't stop until they close their eyes for at least, you gotta wait at least 5 minutes. Cause you know, as soon as you lay them down, they're gonna be like, where you going? When you lay them down, leave the room. Guys, babies are very smart, okay? They smell very well and all of that, okay? They can smell milk. They can smell you. They know your scent. So they know when you're in the room with them. Number 3 word of advice I want to give you is to never let your baby just cry, okay? I have read some, and there were some days I did let my baby just cry, but 9 times out of 10, when you lay your child down and they start crying like that, you thinking, I changed them, I fed them, I don't know what the problem is. Sometimes they do just want you there. So if that is the case, mama, it's okay. Go in their room, put your hand on their back, I swear, just sit your hand right there. Sometimes you don't even have to rub or pat them. They just want to feel you there. And as soon as you touch them, they go to sleep, right? And then there's some cases, like one time I tried to let Braden cry it out and I felt so bad because when I finally got to him, I realized my baby was constipated. He was trying to push some stuff out and that's why he was crying like that. It wasn't because I had laid him down, he didn't want to lay down. You know, so if your baby crying, always check on them. Make sure they're not gassy or anything like that. And there's different cries that babies have that will let you know what's going on with them. I'm gonna do another video. I posted one about that a couple years ago, but I took it down. So I'm gonna redo that video so you can kind of understand how your baby communicates with you to let you know what's going on with them. My situation with my son, he sleeps in his own room. From the hospital, I was always putting him away from me. Some nights he did sleep with me. Some nights we did struggle, you know, especially when we moved into our 2-bedroom. It was a new environment for him. So there was a lot of nights where I would have to literally sit next to him in his bed until he fell asleep. And I would do that for like until he got comfortable. That happened for about 2 weeks where I would go in his room and I'll lay down with him. And then I would sit in the living room because the living room where the table is, it's right across from his bedroom. So I'll sit in the living room and I'll put him in his room. And then every time he get out his bed, which he do that now, he get out his bed and all I do is say, Brandon, lay down. And he go back and he lay down. My way worked for me, okay? Right out the hospital, just put your baby in the bed. As much as you can, just put your baby in the bed. When you have your nights, just know you messed up. And don't do it again that second night. If you slept with your baby in the bed the night before, make sure they are sleeping by themselves the next night. And mamas, stop doing stuff for comfort for yourself. Because sometimes I just be wanting somebody to cuddle with. And I will sit there and let my son sleep in the bed with me because I don't want to sleep by myself. You know, don't get into that type of mindset. Stick with your guns, stick with how you're gonna do it and leave it at that. That's the best way. If you ever wanna have your room or your bed back, if it's been completely taken away from you. Honey, I know some people whose kids are like 6, 7 years old and they still sleeping in the bed with their mom. To each his own. Me, I can't sleep with no toddler in the bed with me. My Brayden will get to kicking me in the back of my head. He be all in my back. I be on the edge of the bed with no covers. And this little person be in the middle of the bed, arms, legs spread out, just getting the best sleep of his life. And I can't sleep worth a damn? Read your child a storybook before they go to bed. Just make them feel as comfortable and relaxed as possible. And give your little mommy goodnight kisses and problem solved. So if you guys have any suggestions on getting your kid out of the bed after, transitioning from co-sleeping, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. I would love to hear your stories and how you got your room back or your bed or whatever, if you did. If you're going through it, we're here to support you. I'm here to support you. And guys, go ahead and like this video and please subscribe to my channel. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I need y'all to help me, okay? Help me, tell your friends about me. Just go on and hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on so you know whenever I post, all right? I love y'all. And again, it's Miss Sydney P. Babe.